The rain hammered the windshield like it had a personal grudge as I pulled into the driveway of our new family home. In suburban Seattle, a sprawling craftsman that screamed middle-class normalcy. My dad was already inside, grinning like an idiot, his arms slung around his new wife, while their son Jordan glowered from the porch steps, fists clenched so tight his knuckles bleached white. In that split second our eyes met through the downpour, I knew this wasn't just resentment, it was war, and I was the enemy had been waiting to hate. I slammed the car door behind me, water sluicing off my jacket and sheets, and trudged up the walk, feeling the weight of every unspoken rule crashing down. Jordan didn't move, just stared with those storm gray eyes that pinned you like a butterfly to corkboard. Great, he muttered loud enough for the neighbors to hear if they cared. The fags here to ruin everything. Dad's face fell, but he recovered with that salesman smile he'd perfected after Mom left. Jordan, come on, son, that's not how we start this. His new wife, Ellen, shot her boy a pleading look, her hands twisting the hem of her sweater. Me? I just stood there, rain dripping from my hair, tasting the bitterness on my tongue. I'd known this was coming. Whispers from family friends about Ellen's troubled teen had clashed with every relative in a 10-mile radius. But hearing it spat like venom, that carved something raw inside me. Inside, the house smelled of fresh paint and lemon pledge, a forced freshness masking the chaos underneath. Dad clapped me on the back, steering me toward the kitchen where coffee steamed on the counter. Alex, this is home now. We're all adjusting. Adjusting. Right. Like slapping family on top of strangers erased the divorce scars or the fact that I'd spent the last year in therapy untangling why I couldn't stop loving boys who treated me like a punchline. Jordan vanished upstairs, his boots thudding like accusations. Ellen sighed, pouring me a mug. He's protective. Lost his dad young. Give him time. Time. As if I had an endless supply. I was 18, fresh out of high school, crashing at Dad's after my own fresh start in Portland fizzled. Gay kid in a conservative pocket of the city? Yeah, that gone south fast. Now here I was playing house with a guy who looked like he'd sooner burn the place down than share a bathroom. That night, I lay in my new room, posters still rolled in the corner, listening to the rain ease into a drizzle. The walls were thin, and Jordan's music bled through grunge anthems full of rage that mirrored the knot in my chest. I thought about bolting, calling an Uber to the airport, but pride glued me to the mattress. This was my shot at normalcy, or whatever passed for it. Little did I know normalcy was about to shatter in ways I'd never braced for. The next morning dawned gray and relentless, the kind of Seattle gloom that seeps into your bones. I shuffled downstairs, aiming for cereal and solitude, but Jordan was there, leaning against the counter, arms crossed like a bouncer at his own kitchen. He didn't look up from his phone, just said, "Fridge is stocked. Don't touch my almond milk." I nodded, grabbing the carton anyway, pouring it over flakes that tasted like cardboard. Silence stretched taut until he snorted. "Figures. You probably drink cow's blood or something." I paused, spoon halfway to mouth. "It's just cereal, Jordan. Chill." His head snapped up, eyes narrowing. "Don't call me that. It's J to people who aren't posers." Poser. The word landed like a slap, echoing every high school taunt I'd dodged. I set the spoon down, slow, deliberate. "Look, I get it. New family sucks. But I'm not here to steal your spotlight, or whatever paranoia you've cooked up." He laughed, bitter and sharp. "Paranoia? Try reality. Dad's all buddy-buddy now, but hell, ditch her too when the novelty wears off. And you? You're just the cherry on this shit sundae. Strutting in with your rainbow vibes like the world's your runway." Rainbow vibes. Had clocked me then, or maybe Ellen had warned him. My stomach twisted, but I kept my voice even. "I'm not strutting anything. I'm just trying to eat breakfast without a side of hate speech." He pushed off the counter, looming a fraction taller than me, his frame wiry from whatever sports had quit in anger. "Hate speech. That's rich, coming from the guy who probably cries rainbow tears. Stay out of my way, Alex, and we'll be fine." He grabbed his backpack and stormed out the door, leaving the echo of tires on wet pavement. I exhaled, staring at my untouched bowl. Fine. I could do fine. I'd survived worse than a stepbrother with a chip the size of Rainier on his shoulder. School started that week, Rainier high, a brick behemoth of lockers and longing stairs. I transferred in late, so the whispers followed me like smoke. The new kid, the one from Portland with the artsy vibe. Truth was, I'd been in theater, their voice lessons and monologues, my escape from the closet. I'd cracked open at 16. Here, though, the air felt thicker, judgmental. eyes lingering longer. Jordan was a year ahead junior to my senior, but we shared the same Orbit English Lit in a crowded cafeteria. He ignored me publicly, but at home the barbs flew. Your music sucks, he'd say, blasting Nirvana while I hummed show tunes. Your clothes are a joke, as if his faded flannels were haute couture. Ellen played Peacemaker. Dad buried himself in work. I journaled it all, scribbling in a battered notebook, pages filling with sketches of faces that looked suspiciously like his when he wasn't sneering. Then came the assembly's second week in a gymnasium that reeked of sweat and stale popcorn. Principal droned on about inclusivity, a buzzword salad that had half the student body rolling eyes. Jordan sat 3 rows back, slouched with his crew guys in hoodies who high-fived over inside jokes. I was alone, sketchpad open, doodling a scene from Rent when the whispers started. Hey, isn't that the gay one? A snicker rippled. I froze, pencil hovering. They'd found me out fast, rumor mill, churning on my rainbow, pinned the one ID forgotten to ditch. From behind, a voice cut through, low and lethal. Shut your trap, Mikey, or I'll shut it for you. Jordan's tone was ice, but his eyes, when they met mine in the dim light, held something else. Not warmth exactly, but a crack in the armor. The assembly ended in applause for some Spirit Week nonsense, and as kids filed out, he brushed past close enough I smelled his soap clean and sharp. Thanks, I murmured to his back. He didn't turn, just grunted, don't read into it. But I did. That night at dinner he passed the potatoes without a jab. Small victory, but it lodged in my chest like hope. Weeks blurred into routine, the kind that lulls you before the storm. I joined the drama club director, Ms. Hale, a wiry woman with a voice like velvet thunder, spotting my monologue skills from across the auditorium. You've got fire, kid, she said after I nailed a scene from Angels in America. Jordan, meanwhile, haunted the edges of my vision track practice, leaving him flushed and distant, or late nights in his room, door cracked to reveal guitar strings humming under his fingers. One evening I caught him in the backyard strumming under the porch light, chords raw and aching. He froze when he saw me, but I just leaned on the railing. That's pretty. Original. He shrugged, fingers stilling. Yeah, helps with the noise in my head. I nodded, sitting on the steps uninvited. I get that. Theater does it for me. Like slipping into someone else's skin for a bit. He had me sidelong. You're really into that gay theater crap, huh? The word hung, but softer this time, question not weapon. I swallowed. It's just theater, Jordan. Stories about people figuring shit out. Like us. Us. The word slipped, treacherous and true. He looked away, plucking a string that twanged discord. We're not us. We're stuck. Stuck. Yeah. But as crickets chorused around us, the space between us felt less like a chasm. The first real fracture came at homecoming, the gym pulsing with bass and bad decisions. I'd gone stag drama kids, my buffer against the wallflower fate. Jordan was their king of the unspoken court, surrounded by cheerleaders who laughed too loud at his jokes. I nursed a punch that tasted like regret watching him from the bleachers. Then Mikey, the assembly whisperer, cornered me by the snack table, breath sour, with beer snuck from some parent's stash. So, city boy, you dance with dudes, or what? Bet you'd look cute in a dress. Laughter erupted, his buddies circling. Heat flooded my face, but before I could swing back, Jordan materialized, shoulder-checking Mikey hard enough to spill chips everywhere. Back off, asshole. He's not worth your time. Mikey blinked, recovering with a shove. What the hell, Jay? Sticking up for the fairy now. Jordan's fist clenched, jaw ticking. Say it again. I dare you. The circle tightened, tension crackling like static. I grabbed his arm, pulse racing under my fingers. Jordan, don't. Not here. He shook me off, but the fight, drained eyes flicking to mine, fractured. Whatever. Let's go. He grabbed my wrist, pulling me through the crowd out into the cool night air where stars punched holes in the overcast sky. We ended up on the football field, bleachers empty and echoing. He paced, kicking at gravel. Why didn't you hit him? Stand up for yourself. I rubbed my wrist, still tingling. Because you're worth more than a suspension. Why did you? He stopped, silhouette against the floodlights. Habit, I guess. Protecting what's mine. Mine. The word echoed, loaded. I stood, drawing closer. Am not yours to protect, Jordan. But thanks. Our breaths mingled, fog in the chill, and for a heartbeat his hand brushed mine, deliberate. Then he recoiled, stepping back. Forget it. Just night. He walked away, leaving me with the echo of almost and the ache of what if. After homecoming, the ice thawed in fits and starts. Jordan left coffee on the counter black, no sugar my way. I slipped playlists under his door, indie folk that softened his grunge edges. At school, we nodded in halls, a secret shorthand. Home became negotiation territory, Ellen beaming at our progress, Dad clapping Jordan on the back after track meets like he'd run them himself. But undercurrents swirled. I'd catch Jordan staring when he thought it wasn't looking, gaze lingering on my mouth or the curve of my neck before snapping away flushed. My own thoughts tangled dreams, waking me sweat damp with his name on my lips. Closeted? Maybe. Or terrified. Had lost his dad to a car wreck at 12, Ellen once said, spiraling into anger that therapy barely touched. Me? I'd lost mom to remarriage guilt, a ghost that whispered I wasn't enough. The drama club production loomed our town, a play about fleeting lives and unspoken loves. Ms. Hale cast me as stage manager, the observer weaving threads. Jordan showed up to rehearsals uninvited, slouched in the back row. Bored, he claimed when I raised a brow. But his eyes tracked me through scenes, voice cracking when I narrated the dead rising. One night post-rehearsal rain slicking the parking lot, he waited by my beat-up Civic. Drive me home? Mom's working late. I unlocked the door, heart thudding. The ride was silence broken by radio static, a song about broken boys crooning low. At a red light he turned. You're good up there. Real. Heat bloomed in my chest. Thanks. Means something coming from you. He smiled faint. Real. Don't let it go to your head. At home, he lingered in the driveway, rain pattering on the roof. Hey Alex. About homecoming. I didn't mean to. Drag me out. I teased. You saved my ass. We're square. His laugh was rusty. Yeah, square. But as he climbed out, his fingers grazed mine again, lingering this time, thumb brushing knuckle. Electricity arced, unspoken promise. The thaw deepened into something dangerous. Mornings would share the bathroom, him shirtless, towel low on hips, scars from old fights faint across his ribs. I'd avert eyes, but not before memorizing the map of him. Evenings on the couch, battling over remote, him yielding to my rom-coms with grumbles that hid smiles. Friendship bloomed, tentative roots in shared silences. He opened up in fragments. Dad's laugh like thunder gone too soon. Moving schools 3 times running from grief. The punch head thrown at a bully who called Ellen weak. Felt good, he admitted, until it didn't. I shared back mom's letters from Florida, perfumed with regret. First kiss stolen behind a bleacher, sweet and scared. The night I'd come out to Dad, his hug fierce as any vow. He's trying, Jordan said, soft with us. Us again. The word wove tighter. Then the misunderstanding hit like a freight train. I'd left my notebook open on the kitchen table, sketch of Jordan midstrum, eyes closed, lost in music. Innocent capture of beauty. But Ellen found it first, her gasp pulling me from sleep. Alex, this is inappropriate. Her voice trembled, handing it over, page creased. I snatched it, heart plummeting. It's just a drawing, Ellen. He's inspiring. Her eyes softened, pity sharp as glass. I know you. But Jordan, he's straight. Confused maybe, but this could hurt him. Hurt him. The implication clawed. I mumbled apologies, fleeing upstairs where Jordan waited, arms crossed in my doorway. Saw Mom crying. What you do? Nothing. Lie bitter. Just a sketch. She overreacted. He stepped closer, snatching the book, flipping to the page. Silence stretched his face, unreadable. This is me. Yeah. Sorry if it's weird. He traced the lines, finger lingering. It's good. Real. Then his eyes hardened. But if you're trying to... Trying what? Anger flared. I'm not a predator, Jordan. I see you. That's all. He tossed the book back. See me? Or see what you want? He stormed out, doors slamming, echo of fracture. Days passed Arctic. He avoided me, eyes averted, meals silent. School became minefield, drama rehearsals hollow, without his shadow. I poured it into the play, voice breaking on lines about love lost to fear. The climax brewed at the fall festival, town square alive with booths and bonfires. Drama club manned a table selling tickets, Ms. Hale bustling like a general. Jordan appeared with friends, Mikey among them, beer cups sloshing. I tensed, but he approached alone. Bought a ticket. For the show. Surprise, thawed me. You did? Yeah. Figured I'd see what the fuss is. Awkward pause. About the sketch. I overreacted. Mom's protective. Thinks everyone's out to break me. I nodded, throat tight. She's wrong. ID never. His gaze held mine raw. I know. That's why it scares me. Scares. The word unlocked something. Before I could probe, Mikey sauntered over, slinging an arm around Jordan. "J-Man, who's this? Your charity case?" Jordan stiffened, shrugging him off. "Back off." Mikey laughed, leering at me. "Still playing night? Cute. Bet he blows you in thanks." The crowd hushed. Jordan's fist flew, cracking Mickey's jaw with a sick thud. Chaos erupted, shouts and shoves, friends pulling them apart, blood trickling from Mickey's lip. I grabbed Jordan, hauling him toward the parking lot, his breath ragged. "What the hell was that?" "He doesn't get to," he yanked, free pacing. "Doesn't get to talk about you like that. Like you're nothing." "Me. Not us, not family. Me." The realization crashed, heart pounding. "Jordan." He stopped inches away, eyes wild. "I hate this. Hating you at first, because you were easy, new guy outsider like me, but not. Then you defended me that day in the hall when no one else did. Remember? Freshman year, I got jumped for stuff. You stepped and told them to fuck off." I blinked, memory surfacing. "That was you. Put up, bloody nose." "I thought. You didn't think. You just did." His voice cracked. "And now I can't stop seeing you. Seeing." The air thickened, charged. Rain started, soft, then sheets hissing on pavement. We ducked under a pavilion shelter, shared breath mingling. "I see you too," I whispered, hand rising to his cheek, damp and stubbled. He leaned in, forehead to mine. "What are we doing, Alex?" "Falling," I breathed. "Scared? Terrified?" His lips brushed mine, feather-light, question, not demand. I answered, closing the gap, soft and searching taste of salt and cinnamon. The kiss deepened, world narrowing to his hands in my hair, mine fisting his shirt. No rush, no heat, just unraveling years of walls in one endless moment. Thunder rolled, breaking us apart, laughter bubbling, shocked. "Holy shit." "Yeah." He grinned, boyish. "Holy shit." We stood there, rain easing, stars peeking, as if the universe approved. But storms don't end with clear skies. The afterglow lasted a week, fragile as frost. Stolen moments in the attic storage space, dusty with boxes, where we'd talk for hours, knees touching. Head play guitar, ID hum harmonies, voices blending like they'd always known the tune. "This feels right." Head murmur, fingers tracing my palm, maps of futures we dared to dream. But reality gnawed edges. School buzzed with the festival fight, Mikey nursing a grudge, spreading whispers. Jordan's gone soft for the fag. Lockers scrawled with slurs, mine his ours. He brushed it off, ignore the noise, but I saw the flinch, the way his shoulders hunched like armor cracking. Home fronted normalcy, Ellen planning Thanksgiving with extended kin, oblivious or willfully blind. Dad pulled me aside one morning over eggs. "You and Jordan, getting along?" My fork paused. "Yeah, he's opening up." He nodded, eyes knowing. "Good. He's been through hell. Deserves a brother." Brother. The word twisted knife sharp. I forced a smile, choking down the lie. The drama production opened that weekend, auditorium packed with locals in flannel and pearls. I narrated from the wings, voice steady, threading lives through time. Jordan sat front row, eyes locked on me through the footlights, pride swelling my chest. Post-curtain calls, he waited in the lobby, flowers in hand, daisies cheap and perfect. "You killed it." Heat flushed my face. "Stalker much?" He grinned, handing them over. "Had to. Celebrate with me?" Diner down the street. We slipped out into crisp night air booths, sticky with syrup, our knees knocking under Formica. Milkshakes arrived, piled with whipped cream. He daubed some on my nose, laughing as I swatted. "Mess. You love it." The words slipped, easy truth. His smile faded, gaze dropping. "Yeah, I do." Silence settled, heavy with unsaid. "Jordan, what's wrong?" He stirred his straw, ice clinking. "Mom's asking questions. Saw us in the yard, heads close. Thinks you're influencing me." "Influencing?" I echoed, bitter. "Code for turning you gay?" He winced. "She's scared. For me. Thinks it's a phase she'll fix with church or whatever." Church. The evangelical one shed dragged him to post-dad funerals and fire and brimstone sermons. ID glimpsed the pamphlets in his trash, guilt wrapped in scripture. "What do you think?" I pressed, voice low. He met my eyes steady. "I think it's me. Always was. Just took you to see it." Relief flooded, sweet as the shake. I reached across, squeezing his hand. "Then we tell them. Together." He nodded, but doubt shadowed his face. Soon. Soon stretched into avoidance. He dodged family dinners claiming practice, bailed on our attic meets with texts. Tired tonight. I filled the void with rehearsals, callbacks for community theater in Seattle proper, a step toward escape. The crack widened at Thanksgiving table, groaning with turkey and tension. Extended family arrived, aunts with perm hair, uncles nursing beers, eyes appraising the blended brood. Jordan sat across from me, foot nudging mine, under table, secret Morse code. Toasts rang out, dads to new beginnings, Ellen to gratitude. Then Aunt Rita leaned in syrupy sweet. So Jordan, any girls catching your eye? That cheerleader from last year. He stiffened, fork scraping plate. Nah, not really. She tisked. Boys your age. Wild times. Just don't let this one lead you astray. Her gaze flicked to me, pointed. The table hushed, Ellen blushing, Dad clearing throat. Jordan's foot withdrew, ice in his eyes. Excuse me. He fled to the porch, cigarette lit in defiance, smoke curling like accusations. I followed minutes later, finding him hunched, railing, staring at bare trees. Rita's an ass, I said, leaning beside him. He exhaled sharp. She's right, though. Us, it's a grenade in their laps. Since when do you care what they think? Since always. He crushed the butt under heel. You don't get it, Alex. Dad's ghost in every prayer, mom clinging to normal like it's salvation. If I blow that, you're not blowing anything. You're living. He turned, eyes stormy. Easy for you. Mr. Out and proud. I wake up every day fighting the mirror. The confession gutted me. I pulled him close, arms wrapping tight. Then fight with me, not against. He sagged into me, breath hitching. Trying. We stood there, whined, whispering secrets until Ellen called us, and pie waiting like truce. But truces break. December brought finals, chills seeping through cracks. Jordan aced his last track, meat metal glinting as he handed it to Ellen, tears in her eyes. Proud of you, baby. I clapped from the stands, heart swelling, but later in his room, metal tossed on dresser, he paced. Feels like chains. Fastest, but still trapped. I sat on his bed, unmade sheets rumpled. Then run toward something. Us. He stopped, hands raking hair. Us. What if it's not enough? What if I fuck it up? You want? I stood, cupping his face, thumbs brushing stubble. We define enough. Our kiss was fierce, anchor in the storm, tongues tangling, need born of fear. He pulled back, eyes dark. Stay tonight. I nodded, slipping under covers, his body curling around mine, warmth chasing cold. Sleep came, tangled limbs, dreams of open roads. Morning light, filtered blinds, Ellen's knock-shattering peace. Boys' breakfast. We sprang apart, clothes, ask you, guilt flushing our faces. Downstairs, she hummed, oblivious, but her eyes lingered on Jordan's rumpled shirt. Suspicion seated. The bomb dropped mid-month, Mickey's crew ambushing Jordan after school alley behind the track, shadowed by dumpsters. I got the call from a drama kid had seen. Jordan, bloodied lip split, dragged into a car by his so-called friends. I raced across town, heart in throat, finding him at the park bench we claimed as ours, ice pack from a vending machine pressed to his face. What happened? I demanded, kneeling, eyes scanning for worse. He spat blood pink on grass. Mikey wanted to talk. About the festival. The rumors. Rumors about us. Yeah. He winced, shifting. Told them to fuck off. They didn't. Rage boiled. Am calling the cops. No. He grabbed my wrist, fierce. Makes it worse. Labels me. Labels? They're beating you, Jordan. For you. His voice broke. Because I chose you. The words undid me, tears pricking. I pulled him close, careful of bruises. Then choose us smart. Tell Mom. Get out from under this shit. He nodded, shaky. Okay. Tonight. Hope flickered, fragile. But night brought Ellen home early, finding us on the couch, two close hands linked, TV flickering, forgotten. She froze, keys clattering. Jordan? Alex? What's going on? He pulled away, but too late. Mom, it's... Her face crumpled. I knew it. The sketches, the late nights. You're confused, baby. We'll fix this. Fix. Jordan surged up. Am not broken. Dad arrived, then drawn by shouts. Ellen, calm down. Talk to me. She whirled, tears streaming. He's gay, John. Because of him. Finger jabbing my way. Dad's eyes widened, flicking between us. Is that true, son? Jordan swallowed, standing tall. Yeah. And it's not because of Alex. It's me. Always. Silence deafened, Ellen collapsing into a chair, sobs racking. Dad rubbed his neck. Jesus. Okay. We figure this out. but figuring meant fracture. Ellen booked therapy, conversion, whispers that curdled my blood. Jordan resisted doors, slamming accusations flying. You don't get it, Mom. You think prayers erase me. I became ghost tiptoeing around landmines, mediating when words turned weapons. Holidays loomed minefield of forced cheer. New Year's Eve we escaped to the roof, stars sharp as diamonds. Fireworks popped, distant Jordan's hand in mine anchor. Happy New Year. He leaned head on shoulder. Happier with you. Our kiss tasted of champagne and defiance, slow burn of promise. But below the house creaked under weight of unspoken. January thawed the ground, but not the rift. Ellen softened edges attending PFLAG, meetings at my nudge, eyes opening slow. Dad grilled me over burgers. You love him, don't you? I nodded, burger forgotten. Yeah, scary as hell. He clapped my shoulder. Then fight for it, kid. Like I should have for you sooner. Gratitude choked me. Progress inching. School turned gauntlet, Mikey expelled for the ambush, but echoes lingered. Jordan came out in Fitz text to close friends, my hand in his at lunch defiant. Whispers shifted, some supportive notes in lockers, others venom scrawled on stalls. Drama club became sanctuary, Ms. Hale pulling us aside after rehearsal. You too. Careful. But don't hide. Arch truth. We nodded, her hug fierce. Valentine's brought surprise, Jordan's gift, a leather journal embossed with our initials, pages blank for stories wed right. Mine a mixtape, tracks of queer anthems and soft confessions. We celebrated low-key picnic in the backyard, string lights twinkling, Ellen's tentative smile from the window. Boys. Pie inside. Jordan squeezed my hand. We're okay. But okay cracked at spring break, family trip to the coast, mandated bonding. Cabin on the Olympic Peninsula, waves crashing like arguments. Ellen tried prayer circles, Jordan bolted mid-psalm surf, soaking his jeans. I found him on the beach, pebbles underfoot. You good? He kicked a shell. Feels like drowning. In their love. I wrapped arms around him from behind, chin on shoulder. Then swim with me. We walked, tide pooling, fingers laced, salt air cleansing. Dinner that night, Ellen passed potatoes without sermon, dad cracking jokes. Truce teetering. The high tide of conflict crested on the drive home, rain lashing windshield. Ellen in passenger seat, voice tight. Jordan, I found your phone. The searches. Gay sites. We can help you. He gripped the wheel, knuckles white. Help? Or change me? Protect you. Tears tracked her cheeks. The world hates boys like me. He slammed brakes, pulling over, hazard lights flashing. I am gay, Mom. And Alex loves me. That's my world. She gasped, hand to mouth. Dad touched her arm. Ellen, let him be. Silence roared, then her whisper. I just lost your father. Can't lose you too. Jordan's softened eyes glistening. You want, but accept me. All. She nodded, broken. Trying, baby. God help me trying. Hug in the rain, shoulders shaking, catharsis. Back home, spring bloom tentative. Ellen hung a pride flag small in the window, therapy shifting to family counseling, circles of truth, not conversion. Jordan and I deepened roots, proms skipped for stargazing, dates at hole-in-wall to carry kisses in the civic, fogging windows with breath, not lust. Graduation loomed, my cap and gown, his next year uncertain. Community college? I mused over ice cream cones. He licked chocolate slow. With you? Anywhere. But surprises lurked. Mickey's dad, a cop, pulled strings, anonymous threats scrawled on our door. Fags go home. Panic spiked, Jordan pacing. We leave. No. I stood firm. This is home. We fight. We reported it, dad's connections, lawyer friend filing complaints. Community rallied, Ms. Hale organizing a rally, pride flags waving in solidarity. The climax unfurled at Pride Month kickoff, downtown Seattle, streets alive with color. Jordan walked beside me, hand high, defying stares, Ellen on my other arm, rainbow pin glinting. Proud, she whispered, squeezing. Crowd cheered, floats, blaring anthems, our steps, sinking heartbeat. Then Mikey appeared, edge of throng, face twisted. Traitors. Jordan tensed, but I stepped forward. We're done, Mikey. Walk away. He lunged, fist raised, but security swarmed, cops, his dad's colleagues hauling him back. Enough. Jordan exhaled, collapsing into me. You defended me. Always. Kiss amid cheers, seal. Summer stretched, golden internships for me, theater tech, Jordan, coaching youth track. Evenings tangled on the porch, guitar and harmonies, dreams whispered. Fall brought change my acceptance to UW drama program him transferring in undeclared major eyes on music edition. Our story, he said packing boxes, just starting. I grinned, pulling him close. Best plot twist. And as rain pattered familiar we kissed under Eve's world softened not by defense, but by daring to love fierce and true.